Hi, good morning or good early afternoon, depending on where you are when you watch this. I am really excited. We are on day 3? Just everything is going so well. I feel like every conversation I've had with each of you separately, has been so inspiring and fulfilling, and it makes me just really grateful to be able to do what I do and to be in this position to help people. So, welcome. Hi. I can't see who joined on, but I can see you. Hi, Jessica. Good morning. Or where are you? You're in DC. Good afternoon. Okay, so I wanted to check in with you, see, of course, how your meditation practice has been going. I have heard from some of you via text message that this is a brand new thing for you and you are a little intimidated by it. But just remember that it does not have to be overwhelming. It can be something really small, starting out with 1 minute at a time. I've loved the conversation on the Facebook group about your 2-word mantras. All of them are amazing and super inspiring. So thank you for chiming in and for creating a space for you in your day to put yourself first and remember that your mental health is super important and that you are taking this time, this 30 days out of your year to really focus on your mental health. Okay, so one of the common themes that I have seen with each and every one of you is that you struggle to some degree with sleep. Okay, so let's just talk about sleep for a second. Let's chat about why it's so important and what about sleep can help us in our mental health. It's so connected. We'll talk about food in the coming days, but for today, because food also plays a huge integral part in our mental health, but today I want to focus on why sleep is so important. We all know that if we don't sleep well, we're pretty irritable the next day and we just feel exhausted. And you start the day deficient, right? But what sleep is a restorative state. Think of your body like a factory, and when you fall asleep, it's the night shift. So your body is resting its heart and building up its cardiovascular system for the next day. It's able to get rid of damaged cells and detox the body. There is a immune function that happens in your sleep that helps to boost your immunity for the next day. You'll notice that if you continuously are in depletion mode and you're not getting enough sleep, and enough in air quotes, because each and every one of us is different. For me, if I get a solid 6 hours without any interruptions, I feel amazing the next day. And that's just based on the fact that my life is hectic. I have a lot of kids. I've been interrupted in my sleep for the last, I have a 9-year-old now, so 9 years. But before I had kids, I would need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And it had to be uninterrupted for me to feel really great. For you, maybe you do have children, but you still need a good block of time to feel like yourself the next day. You decide what enough means. But if you're not getting enough sleep, especially day after day, it builds upon itself and your immune system begins to be suppressed. And then you'll maybe start to even feel like a little tickling in your throat, right? Give me hearts or a little thumbs up if you have felt that before, that if you repeatedly are not getting enough sleep, you start to feel sick. You start to feel your body drained. And it's just because it wasn't able to refill the battery, right? No charging of the battery happened. And so the body is completely in repression mode. And that immune system is very vulnerable to infection. That can be a tricky thing, especially if you're around kids, because kids carry all sorts of infections, right? There's airborne pathogens around them all the time, it seems like. And so if you are in a repressed immune state, you're going to be a lot more likely to catch a cold, especially if you're traveling or on a flight or around a lot of people. Okay, so if you consistently are not sleeping enough, this has been one of the number one leading causes of anxiety and depression. And that's why we need to have this conversation. So each and every one of us that's here in this group, to some degree, faces anxious feelings or sadness. And it may be all of the above, which is fine. Me too. But what I want us to really understand is that there are things you can do in your everyday life to ensure that you have a better night's sleep than what you got the night before. It just requires a little bit of intention and deliberate effort. So the first thing that I would suggest to you is making sure that you avoid screen time 30 minutes prior to when you're going to lay down to bed. Okay, so you can put your phone away or turn the TV off. Maybe have a wind down routine. Maybe that wind down routine includes taking a probiotic with some lemon water, or going to your kitchen and making yourself a nice warm mug of tea. Or maybe you're someone that avoids liquids altogether right before bedtime because you don't want to get up in the middle of the night. For myself, I love a nice warm beverage, nice herbal tea, something to calm my mind and my body down, and maybe, if I'm really lucky, take a bath. But that doesn't usually happen, just based on the fact that life is life. But when I do get to take a bath, obviously I feel better about everything. So if you're having a really tough day, taking a bath could be a great way to serve yourself and have like a little self-care 20-30 minutes in the tub with some magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt, and just, get in there and relieve all the tension. But if that's not realistic for you every day, that's fine. Avoid that screen time for 30 minutes. Find yourself a nice routine. If it's a warm beverage, or maybe it's taking lotion from your bathroom and giving yourself a little foot massage. It could be that you like to journal right before bedtime to kind of get everything off your mind, clear your mind before your head hits the pillow. I'm going to introduce one new thing to you that I would like us all to commit to for 30 days. Again, you get to pick and choose what in this group applies to you. If it's too much, I totally get it. But how awesome would it be to begin to include our adaptive line, the calming blend, in our sleep time regimen? So what I would love for you to do is have a diffuser next to your bed, 2 feet or so away from your pillow. Have that adaptive blend in your diffuser. You could do 2 to 4 drops, stick that in there, allow that diffuser to fill the room as you are falling asleep and help you to maintain a restful night's sleep. Then, right before bedtime, I would love for you to apply this adaptive touch roller to the bottoms of your feet, here on your wrists, and behind your neck. So those 3 places, super easy, okay? And then if you're somebody who gets up in the middle of the night, because there are many of you in your test group surveys had written down that you get up in the middle of the night and you can't fall back asleep, I want you to try it again. I want you to take the adaptive blend, and I want you to rub it on the bottoms of your feet, back of your neck, and right here on the insides of your wrists, okay? And then the last thing you're gonna do before you close your eyes, or maybe you could even do it while you're closing your eyes, but take just a couple minutes and take some deep breaths in. Have a meditation while you are laying down. So it's just a quiet time where you're resting your mind. I love to fill my body up with air and then releasing all of it. I feel like that movement of like letting go of all the air that I just took in sometimes can be the thing that knocks me out. I sometimes don't even get to like 3 full breaths. And I'm not a person that normally can fall asleep very easily. I am prone to be more anxious, and so my mind likes to race. So if that's you too, just know that there's hope, because it has worked for me, and it does work for me on nights when I really struggle. So allowing your oxygen to fill the body and then releasing all of it and until you have nothing left inside of you. And then you can even hold the breath. So as you've released all of that air, hold the breath for a few seconds, 2 or 3 or 4 seconds, and then take another deep breath in as much as you possibly can, and then releasing all of it, every last bit, so there's nothing left. And sometimes I like to give myself a little extra test. So you've released all the air and it's all the way out, and then try and release it even more. So giving yourself like a little, like blowing it out even harder. Okay? There's always more you can do. In Kundalini Yoga, we always are pushing the envelope a little bit further, where, we're doing breath of fire or something and you think you have nothing left, and the instructor's like, push again. And so you always can. Your body finds a way to make it happen. So try that tonight. I would love to hear how it's going for you. Sleep is our goal for this entire experience, and I hope that the sleep time regimen that you're going to create during this test group is something that you can continue to do moving forward in your life to help you maintain a healthy sleep pattern because we all know the next day, if you're not well rested, you're going to be much more irritable. Over time, it does cause you to be in fat storing hormone phase, which you don't want that extra weight gain because you're not sleeping. Just sleep. Everyone, say it with me. Just sleep. Okay, have an awesome Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow.